You know, there's something primal about the numbers game. We love a fair fight, sure, but deep down, we want to see the matchmaking system break. We want to see one person look at a literal battalion of soldiers and say, I like those odds. Today, we're looking at the absolute best moments where quality beat quantity into a bloody pulp. Let's get into it. If you haven't watched The Unlimited, you are so missing out. You're missing out on one of the swaggiest openings in anime history. Hyobu Kyosuke is the definition of unbothered. The military pulls up with tanks, helicopters, and heavy infantry, and this man walks towards them with his hands in his pockets like he's browsing a convenience store. He doesn't dodge bullets, he teleports them back into the barrels of the guns that fired them. It's the accelerator-style disrespect that I live for. It sets the tone immediately. This isn't a fight for survival, it's a morning stroll for a monster who considers modern weaponry a minor inconvenience. We spent seasons watching the scouts fight mindless giants, so seeing Levi cornered by intelligent, gun-wielding humans was a massive shock to the system. The scene in the bar, the claustrophobia is palpable. But then Levi flips the shotgun, blasts his way out, and turns the street of Trost into his personal playground. The camera tracking in this sequence is illegal. It's one continuous, fluid shot of Levi ziplining, dodging bullets, and using the environment to dismantle a squad designed specifically to kill him. It feels less like a shonen battle and more like a desperate survival horror where the monster is the tiny man with the swords. Oh, by the way, if you're a content creator and you want to make a banger video essay or an AMV, but first you have to scrub through an entire 24 episode season just to build your scene pack, well, it is psychological torture, isn't it? Look, I've watched hundreds of anime series in my lifetime, and I swear half of that time was just me dragging a cursor looking for the exact frame a sword sparked. Enter weigh-in video. Instead of manually slicing up episodes like a peasant, weigh-in video's AI lets you literally search for the moments. Type epic explosion or character crying in the rain and boom, it finds it. Your scene pack practically builds itself. But here is the 200 IQ play, okay? You don't just use this to save time for your own uploads on your channel. You use weigh-in video to speedrun building pristine 4K scene packs and then you sell them. Think about it. 4K Sakuga combat pack. Overpowered protagonist pack. Other editors are lazy. We are lazy. Creators will literally throw money at you so they don't have to scrub timelines themselves. Whether you're trying to scale a full YouTube channel or just trying to fund your crippling anime figure addiction, this is free real estate. They're currently providing 200 free credits for new users upon registration. So click the link below to try weigh-in video and start making edits that actually see the light of day. This was the moment manhwa readers had been foaming at the mouth for. The anime adaptation had a lot riding on this, and they nailed the sheer exhaustion of it. It's not just about Jinwoo being strong, it's about the grind, the penalty zone, the endless waves of nights, the timer ticking down. You actually feel the fatigue setting in. He's running on fumes, dragging his body through the desert, bashing skulls until his knuckles bleed. It makes the payoff so much sweeter. When the dust settles and that single word, arise, chills, literal chills. It feels earned because we watched him suffer for every inch of that power. It's the birth of the Shadow Monarch, and it was worth the wait. The Phantom Troop are built different, and Uvogin is the wrecking ball that proves it. When the Mafia sends their elite Shadow Beast to take him out, you expect a tactical back and forth, but instead, Uvogin stands there, takes a poisonous bite to the neck, and just laughs. He fights like a wild animal, literally biting a chunk out of a guy's head and screaming another one to death. A scream that kills you. I mean, that's metal. It's a gruesome display of Nen mastery that shows the gap between the protagonists and the spiders isn't a valley, it's a canyon. It's violent, uncomfortable, and establishes exactly why you should never ever try to box with an enhancer who has nothing to lose. I can't use my hands. Fine, I'll use everything else. Gabimaru, the Hollow, starts this fight handcuffed, and honestly, that just makes it unfair for the other guys. This isn't about flashy energy beams, it's about brutal, efficient choreography. He's breakdancing with lethal intent, snapping necks with his legs and dodging blades by a millimeter. It sells the idea of the Hollow perfectly. He's not angry, he's not excited, he's just doing chores, and the chores happen to be murder. Watching him decapitate a guy with his feet is the kind of creative violence that makes you question your own morals while you hit the rewind button. This is the greatest rage quit in anime history. After 12 episodes of You Can't Break the Sword, Shichika decides the rules no longer apply. He storms the Shogun's castle and runs a gauntlet against the wielders of the ultimate swords he spent the whole series collecting, and he destroys them. Not in epic duels, but in seconds. He snaps blades with his bare hands, punches through armor, and speedruns the final boss roster. It's a tragedy wrapped in a massacre, showing us that the only reason these villains survived this long was because Shichika was being nice. Seeing him essentially delete the main antagonists one by one is cathartic, heartbreaking, and undeniably the wildest flex in the entire show. There's Old Man Strength, and then there's King Bradley. The Führer returns to his castle to find a coup in progress, and his response is to walk through the front door, take on a tank with a sword, and win. Let me just repeat that, okay? A tank with a sword. That's right. He weaves through machine gun fire with the casual annoyance of someone swatting away flies. It's the visual representation of wrath. No magic alchemy, no grand speech, just a furious old man dismantling a rebellion with perfect precision and a single grenade. It's grounded, gritty, and terrifying, because he doesn't need powers, he just needs an open lane and a sharp piece of metal. You know the quiet kid in class who you shouldn't push? That's Makoto. He spent the whole show trying to be a pacifist merchant, but when Rotsguard City gets overrun, the gloves come off. He floats into the sky, creates a mana throne, and begins an orbital bombardment. It's not a battle, it's a tactical airstrike. He snipes hundreds of enemies simultaneously with his magic bow, looking bored out of his mind. The contrast between his usual stuttering demeanor and his cold, calculated destruction is absolute whiplash. It's one of those, I'm not locked in here with you, you're locked in here with me moments that redefines the character completely. He isn't fighting, he's just cleaning up the map. A true hidden gem entry, this one. Ryner usually plays the lazy, sleepy protagonist, but the moment the alpha stigma activates, the genre shifts from fantasy adventure to cosmic horror. It's the sound design that gets me, the screaming, okay? He doesn't cast fireballs, he commands the erasure of matter. Watching soldiers, magic knights, and even the castle walls just disintegrate into nothingness is haunting. It's uncontrollable, chaotic, and terrifyingly powerful. It's one of those rare moments where the power-up feels entirely like a curse. You aren't cheering for him to win, you're terrified of what he's becoming. It's a visceral reminder that sometimes being the strongest person in the room is actually the loneliest, most destructive thing imaginable. For one brief, shining moment, Saitama felt something. The dream sequence is unparalleled. Madhouse flexed their entire budget on a fight that technically didn't even happen. The sheer scale of the destruction, the camera angles, and the fact that Saitama is actually bleeding and panting sells the thrill of the fight that he's been missing. He's smiling. He's actually trying. The tragedy, of course, is him waking up to the disappointing reality of one-shotting the real king of the subterraneans. But in that dream, that was peak fiction. It captures the essence of shonen battle anime, the struggle, the heat, the adrenaline. It's a beautiful lie that hurts just as much as it hypes you up. Isekai protagonists usually get a cheat skill. Toyohisa got a katana and zero sense of self-preservation. The opening of Drifters tells you everything you need to know. He's outnumbered, bleeding out, and the enemy commander is behind a wall of spears. Most people retreat. Toyohisa charges into the spears just to get within swinging distance. He's a shark in human form, biting throats and cutting down soldiers with a ferocity that feels genuine to his historical era. It's violent, dirty, and glorious. It strips away the shiny veneer of fantasy combat and replaces it with the mud and blood of actual warfare. He wins not because he's stronger, but because he's willing to die harder than anyone else.
盗賊の頭から領主様か。
今宵はどうもありがとう。私はローリー・マーキュリー。ダメよ。
Gothic Lolitas and giant axes. Name a more iconic duo. Gate is often propaganda, but watching Rory Mercury dismantle an army of bandits and later special forces is a guilty pleasure. She treats the battlefield like a dance floor, twirling a halberd that probably weighs 2 tons while giggling. The disconnect between her appearance and the absolute carnage she unleashes is the hook. She's getting spiritually aroused by the souls passing through her while limbs are flying everywhere. I mean, it is weird and it is creepy, but it's awesome too. Seeing modern soldiers panic as their bullets bounce off her while she pirouettes through them is the kind of anime nonsense that can't help but make you smile. It's style over substance in the best possible way.
Anti-magic area 設置完了。死ね。
Megiddo, the word that changed the tone of the entire series. Rimuru stops being the happy-go-lucky slime and decides to commit a calculated war crime. He floats above the army and manipulates water droplets to act like sniper rounds. There's no screaming, no big clash of swords, just the silent thud of bodies dropping. He kills thousands without lifting a finger to harvest their souls. It's cold, methodical, and undeniably cool. The moment he sits on that throne of bodies, that's when the Demon Lord was born. It shifts the narrative from let's all get going to don't touch my friends, and seeing that level of ruthlessness from a cute blue slime is deeply satisfying. If you want to see pure swordsmanship animation, you watch Sword of the Stranger. The introduction of the villain, Luan Lang, is a masterclass in visual storytelling. He walks into a bandit ambush and dismantles them with a level of fluidity that makes them look like they're moving in slow motion. He's bored, he's checking his nails, dodging attacks by a hair's breadth, and countering with lethal precision. Bones Studio animated the weight of the sword perfectly here. Every hit feels heavy, yet he moves like water. It's not about magic or explosions, it's about spacing and timing. It establishes him immediately as an insurmountable wall of skill that our protagonist has to somehow climb. This is the gold standard. The moment Madara Uchiha jumped down from that cliff, the entire power scaling of Naruto broke and we didn't even care, did we? He flows through the alliance using nothing but hands and stolen eyes. He breaks their formation, steals a sword, and dances through thousands of ninjas. And just when they think it's over, he drops a meteor. Then he asks the Kage, what will you do about the second one? I mean, the absolute disrespect there. It captures the despair of facing a legend who actually lives up to the hype. He treats the entire allied shinobi forces like a warm-up exercise, and it's glorious. Baki operates on trust me bro logic, and Yujiro Hanma is the CEO. We get a flashback to the Vietnam War where a 16-year-old Yujiro is hunting the US Army for sport. He's unarmed, shirtless, and treating Green Berets like toddlers. The narrator glazes him the entire time, explaining how his muscles are harder than steel and his testosterone levels are probably radioactive. It's absurd, it's over the top, and it establishes Yujiro as a walking nuclear deterrent. He doesn't fight armies, armies survive him. Watching him force the greatest military power on Earth to sign a peace treaty with him personally is the kind of macho nonsense that only Baki can pull off with a straight face. After years of abuse and being compared to Doji, Maki finally snaps, and it's horrifyingly beautiful. She walks into her family estate and cleans house. It's a slasher movie where she's the monster. She moves so fast, she leaves after images, ripping through the elite Hay Squad and destroying the higher-ups without breaking a sweat. It's the ultimate catharsis moment, burning down the institution that rejected her, literally and metaphorically. The Zenin clan wanted a strong warrior. Unfortunately for them, they got one. Seeing her stand amidst the rubble of her trauma, covered in blood, is one of the most powerful images in modern shonen. And of course, we have X warping his way into our screens. The entire sequence was just so damn cool. X did everything. Caught a beam in a soda can, pulled a car straight out of a billboard, tossed Ahu like a Pokemon. X made reality warping look less like combat and more like improv theater. And you know what else is cool? How freaking effortless the whole thing was. The heroes were putting their lives on the line here, but X, hands in his pockets, walking like he had all day. He wasn't even trying to end things quickly. He was just showing off, stretching the fight out just so the animators could flex with insane 2D and 3D transitions and choreography that belongs in a museum.